got our first indigenous aircraft carrier, INS Vikrant. What have been the spin-offs? It means a lot for power projection. I'll come to discuss that. But what does this really mean that India gets its first aircraft carrier in terms of how many people were employed, what kind of innovation went into it, how many spin-offs, what spin-offs in terms of assisting industries in India, the economic spin-off. I remember reading something about those spin-offs in the economic survey, for example. So how has just one aircraft carrier contributed so much, and in what manner, to overall India's march to progress?
I would say today the Vikrant, the indigenous aircraft carrier, stands as a testimony to our aspirations, to our motivation, what we can achieve if we as Indians put our minds to it, and where we can, what we can achieve together. So the Navy has for the last about 5 decades, had worked on becoming a builder's Navy rather than a buyer's Navy, and that's what we have achieved now. We started with small boats, and from there we moved on to corvettes, to landing craft, to frigates, destroyers, and finally the largest warship ever built, the indigenous aircraft carrier. Now, what does actually Vikrant symbolize? On the 9th of February, we had the landing on board, it's called TRAP, and then launch of a indigenous LCA Navy by an Indian pilot trained in India, on board the indigenous aircraft carrier, designed and built in India and in Indian waters. So what more statement of our indigenous will, our confidence and our ability can be there than this demonstration. Now, in warship building, what happens especially if you're building in our country, there is a multiplier effect. The economic survey report, which was tabled on the 31st of January this year, brings out very clearly that in terms of employment, for every job that is created in the shipyard, there is a multiplier effect of 6.4. That means in the case of Vikrant, for example, there were 2,000 jobs created in the Cochin shipyard, and 12,000 jobs were created in the ancillary industries, which support the various equipment and things that need to go into the ship. The second aspect of it is the circulation of the money. It brings out again very clearly that there is again a multiplier effect of this. For every rupee that is spent, there is a circulation of 1.882 or so. So the Navy's order books and the money that we are spending in the currently is of the order of 1.5 crores or 1.5 lakh crores. So this actually translates into about 2.83 lakh crores of circulation in the Indian economy. So therefore, shipbuilding has got this ability to generate employment, generate more income, more businesses. There were 500 MSMEs who were involved in it. So that is therefore we feel that the Navy currently is looking at about 90% of the capital budget being expended in domestic industry only. And maybe by 2047, almost 100% of our capital as well as revenue budget will get expended in India.
So these are fantastic numbers. I wonder if many people and some from